Hey, what's up guys? It's Incendium, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a Kenny Beats type beat. So Kenny Beats is a pretty popular producer. He's produced for a lot of artists like Key, DaBaby, Smoke Perp, Denzel Curry, you know. And he also has this really popular YouTube series called The Cave where he invites different artists from across the spectrum and kind of just makes a beat for them and they rap over it, and it's just all good vibes. But basically, today I'm going to be showing you guys specifically how Kenny does his drums, the kind of patterns he does, and all the sound, also the sound selection that he uses. So first off, we're going to be using a loop to make the beat in this video, which I think is appropriate because Kenny Beats uses loops a lot of the time in his beats. So the loops we're going to be using are from my new loop kit, Phonetics Loop Kit. Go ahead and cop that, link in the description. I'll play a few. Basically, those are just some of the loops that you can find in this kit, kind of the vibes I'm going with. But today we're specifically going to use this loop called Dungeon. It's kind of has like a little bit of a Kenny Beats vibe. Sounds like maybe something he would do with Key. Like, I think I kind of realized after I made this loop actually that I was subconsciously inspired by that Cable Guy song that Key has with Jay Critch, produced by Kenny, because it sounds kind of like the melody from that song. But basically, let's just drag this in, change the tempo up here to 118 to match the sample, and we can go ahead and listen to the entire sample right now. I'll turn up the volume a little bit. So as you can see, I use like a lot of dark synths and analog synths, and did some panning and a lot of cool effects in that. And probably in a future video, I'll break down how I make loops, because I know that's something that everybody wants to see. But yeah. So the high lead comes out of the loop at this part, and basically just goes down an octave at this part. Okay, cool. So now we'll get started on the drums. Okay, so the first drum sound that we're going to use is a hi-hat, and this is actually from the OZ and Foreign Tech Step Brothers kit. It's hi-hat number 14. Turn that up a bit. As you can see, it's kind of like a pitch down a little bit, like kind of lower hi-hat, and that's kind of what we're going for. Kenny Beats uses those a lot in his beats, and because it kind of gives it a more lo-fi, raw sound. So we're just going to do a, we're just going to do 8 notes, and then we'll add some rolls in when I'm done with that. Okay. So now we're going to add some variation on these hi-hats. So I noticed that Kenny doesn't use a lot of rolls in his hi-hats. He uses them pretty sporadically, and they're short-lived. So I'll show you exactly what I mean. So like he might have like one right here at the beginning, and I'll just do a quick triplet right here. And then maybe like one like right here, like something like this. And then like one here. I'll do a faster one here. And then like another one like right here. And then go ahead and get rid of this. And then like I'll also have like maybe like a few pitch down like at the end maybe. So like I'll transpose this down about 5 semitones. So now you'll see the kind of like dip that it goes. See? And we'll go ahead and copy that. So now we'll move on to the claps and snares. So this next sound we're using is this clap that I got from my boy Concept P, his Misconception drum kit. The clap is called Whippa. It's a really standard clap. Kenny tends to use, and the thing I've noticed that Kenny uses regular sounds that have shown up in a lot of like other trap music, but he edits them like ever so slightly. So for example, this clap, like we're gonna keep that the same, but we're gonna pitch it down, maybe like 2 or maybe even just 1 semitone. Let's see how it sounds. We'll go with 1, honestly. So now it sounds like this. Maybe even pitch it up 1 semitone. Let's see how that sounds. Yeah, like something like that. Like he really has a very crisp kind of clap that he uses a lot in his beats. So we'll just make a basic pattern on the offbeat here. Okay, and now we'll move on to the snares. Okay, so for this next sound, we have this snare from the Bassed One Warfare drum kit. It's called Ghost. I'll go ahead and play it. So, it's kind of almost like a perk with how thin the snare is, but Kenny usually likes using obscure, kind of dirty snares. And the most important thing is that he uses them very sparingly, so they'll be quite spaced out. Maybe like right here, and then right here. So just something like that. Okay, now we'll move on to the to some of the perks and open hats. Okay, so for our percussion, we have this Claim open hat. I'll play it. And I'm thinking that we can just add that at the beginning of each phrase, so like every 4 bars. And then we also have this perk called the Uber perk. And by the way, both of these are from the Bassed One Warfare drum kit, along with the snare. I noticed that Kenny uses a lot of almost melodic kind of percussion. Okay, so now we're going to move on to probably my favorite part, and also probably the most complex part in this tutorial, the 808. Okay, so the 808 I added is actually from this Kenny Beats Valentine's Day 808 kit that he dropped back last year, and basically I can show you what I did. So the 808 itself is called it says it's called the Crushed 808. I think it's actually called the, hold on. Yeah, it's called the EN 808. And basically, this is the pattern I did. So what I've noticed is that his 808s tend to be pretty spaced out until it gets to the end and beginning of the phrases, and where it kind of like has a bit more variation. So I can kind of show you what I did. And also, if you've noticed, I've shortened some of the notes a little bit to give it more emphasis when it drops. So, and also I added a bit of distortion 1 onto there. The drive is at 4.5 dB, and the output is negative 4.5 dB. Tone is at 1000. So, And this is how it sounds with the rest of the drums. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. Usually Kenny doesn't have kicks too often in his beats, so after that, all we really have to do is some arranging, so I'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so we pretty much have the crux of the beat arranged. Um, so if you'll notice, I put this little like kind of fake start here. Um, that's something that kind of got popular around 2016, 2017 on the SoundCloud scene, but Kenny also does it a lot. I think he did it on a can't remember if it was a Smoke Perp song. I think it was, but yeah. So basically, everything in the drums remains until the first clap, which I took out, and then it just there's nothing there. Um, and then for the sample, I kind of arranged it like you have this swirling synth buildup, and then you have when the drums drop, the higher synth comes in, and that kind of goes here. Maybe this would be like a hook, and then the verse, just like that. So yeah, let's go ahead and listen to the beat.